Hey Siri, call Tiffany Hartman on speakerphone.
Just to confirm, you'd like to call Claire Broussard?
Hey Siri, call Tiffany Hartman on speakerphone. Hey Siri, call Tiffany Hartman on speakerphone.
Calling Tiffany Hartman on speaker.
I said 11:05. Hey, Amy. Where the hell have you been? Amy, are you a crackhead? I've had one of those. Each week gets harder and harder. Hey, Jim Whiting, great to see you, man. Always my pleasure to read your comments. One of my favorites, the very smart, if not brilliant, George Ricard. What's up? Good to hear you guys, man. So I'm going to do all the weather tonight. Hey, Crystal Mark. I'm going to do all the weather tonight, and I'm going to throw in space weather at the end. How's that sound? All right, let's get going. All right, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is April 29th, 2025. God bless you and yours. No matter where you are in the world, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. We had a $50 goal on our last live stream that lasted about an hour, and we got 0% of the donations through Super Chats. 0%. I guess there's a little bit over 500 people there. Not very encouraging, but we'll go with it, right? All right. We're going to do it all tonight. I have it all pulled up. First, we're going to start with volcanoes are active, and not because I say they are, because volcanodiscovery.denmark says they are, right? Now, let's actually name our source, and all right, let's get going. Now, I'm going to count a good round number is 80. We've been, I guess, way above there, 84, 85, and all the way down to 39 this year. 39 active volcanoes. So there's a big difference, but I think we're fairly active, although there's no planetary, which I'm going to show y'all, no planetary lineups whatsoever, nothing going on crazy. I'll count, you guys, please, I need y'all to all guess. I would say a number between 40 and 90 is pretty legitimate. 10. 20. 30. 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 81, folks. Can you do that, Tiffany? Did anyone guess 81? Because it's 81. Which is getting up there. I can't believe no one went for over 80. I wish I would have. Because I thought that there might be about 80 work. Where is George? Crazy George on here? Oh, Mr. Card. I love Mr. Card, our young gentleman from California. I always thought he was from Canada. I mean, there's a lot in common with Canada and California. But this is one of the intelligent ones. Let me assure you of that. He's one of the intelligent ones. Ain't no joke. So, we got that, right? 81 volcanoes erupting. That's pretty significant. And yes, I know there's a double R, so I better put it in there before I'm spell checked by some crazy English mother that can't stand anything being spelled wrong. All right, over to, look now, we didn't get a single report all day long of any earthquake in all of Canada, Northwest Territory whatsoever. And I believe today is Tuesday because tomorrow is steak night. All my friends meet for a steak that regularly goes for $59 is $24 with all the fixings. So I know, that's how I know what night it is. I have a special steak night everywhere, right? And I know who's got their kids and who doesn't. Right? All right, so not one. Nothing in that salt mine right there. Nothing in this salt mine. Nothing in this volcanic patch. Nothing in the Juan de Fuco, i.e. Cascadia subduction zone. Nothing. All right, we know we had some big ones today. With that 6.8 and that 6. They called it a 5.9 here, but of course everyone else called it 6.2, 6.3. I think New Zealand made that call right there, and then there was an aftershock that I can't get to right here. Look at the big quakes. They're surrounding Zealandia. If anyone watches my videos all the way through, y'all probably are learning a lot. It's our 8th continent. They've already named it. It's an official continent. And that's why I don't realize how New Zealand can think that they can get a continental shelf. They might be the peak of the continent. I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen, along with New Caledonia. But that continent goes all the way up to Fiji and Tonga. That continent goes all the way up to Papua New Guinea. And we can see all the volcanoes. Look at that bad boy there, a 5.2. We're going to go ahead and add them all. I know. Add them all, right, James? What I do want to do is add everything in unrest now. Everything in yellow is unrest, but it's two things. It's broken the surface of the water because volcanoes that go off underwater, well, we can see them, believe it or not, on firms and some of the other software programs. If you look for heat and if you look for infrared signatures and you spend your day doing it. But most of the time, all we're getting information on is volcanoes that are above sea level. Above sea level, which is, again, 26% of the globe, if it's a globe, is going to be land. The other 74% is going to be underwater. That means that there's a lot more seamounds, which is another name for a volcano underwater, than there are volcanoes above water, right? I know y'all get this. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. All right. Charles, always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure. Good people. Look, so this is Zealandia. I mean, remember when this fault, look here, this fault right here formed in 1 year? I thought it would take 10,000 years for that fault to form. I won't lie to y'all. We watched it happen as a group in 1 year. That entire fault between Turkey and Syria. If you go there, I have pictures of it. There's 100-foot crevice and one side 70 foot higher than the other now. That all happened in 1 year right here between Syria and Turkey. What we're seeing here is Zealandia rising much quicker than I thought it would. Look at the size of the earthquakes. Look at the volcanic activity, right? Yes, I can prove that this is White Island volcano. So is that White Island volcano. There's all kind of mess ups in the world, right? All kind of mess ups. Through the most important, I call it important because there's about 50 nuclear plants right here. Japan's a bunch of stupid, greedy, selfish mofos. Now I can't even have my cod or I get sick. This is a North American plate up here. Anything that's in black is a drain plate. In other words, they think that might be what occurs in the future because they're picking up the blue partial plates. The reds are tectonic plate boundaries. So you can deal with it. This is a North American plate, Pacific plate, Eurasia plate, the Indonesian plate here. And what do they all do? They all look at all these volcanoes. What is there? An extra couple thousand right here at the least. What do they all do? They all go into Fukushima. How was I able to put my marker right there? We're in a band of trouble. They're pouring over 1 million gallons, and it's getting worse. 2011 was the meltdown. It actually is worse now than it was a year ago. The whole plant was built for $3.4 billion. They have over $22 trillion in cleanup. And they want y'all to believe that nuclear energy is clean energy. I mean, you almost have to throw up when you say it. This is the Fukushima. I know a lot about this because I have one of my best friends that lives in Tokyo. Fukushima, the plant shut down. Fukushima, the city shut down. Fukushima is obviously, or if y'all don't know, it's also a state. And the only way to get through it is this highway. There's a highway here because the whole state or province is shut down as well. And then all of a sudden, you've got an active volcano on the north. Because what is this? This is a volcanic ridge. The whole island is a volcano, right? I just showed y'all that they just finished 4 nuclear reactors right there. Look where the quake hit today. They just finished 4 nuclear reactors right there. They're still having to cool the rods and can't grab the Fukushima rods. And we're talking about millions. Watch this. This is so crazy. They had to open up their own nuclear commission to give themselves permission to ruin the world. It's true. They actually did that. They opened up, look, 1,000 tanks stored than 1.3 million cubic meters or 1.34 million tons of radioactive water. Radioactive water. Let's go into videos so y'all can see what that looks like. Now, let's go into images so y'all can see what that looks like. Just to give you an idea, as far as the eye can see, all this water had to be poured poured on to the rods to keep it cool, and nothing's changed. Each day they take Pacific salt water and they pour them on the rods here. So look. These are all the containers here. Now, do you think nuclear waste might melt through plastic? Because I think it might. And this is just some of it. This is probably, look, TEPCO. TEPCO spent $3.4 billion in 2011, right? Obviously, this is the baddest scene in the world. And the funny thing is Japan keeps building more, not less, but more nuclear facilities. They have more than probably per capita anywhere in the world. And look, volcanic range going right into Tokyo right here. Look, no plate tectonic boundary. Look here, no plate tectonic boundary. I'll go ahead and zoom in. Look, black. They didn't even put it in black. They don't want to embarrass themselves, right? And this is all being built right here, which is, I guess, one of the most unstable islands in the world. But hey, everyone's up for cheap electricity, right? What happens when you have to eat? Imagine when, all that water they're pouring into the Pacific is absorbed into these high pressure fronts that then make their way around to Alaska, into Canada, into Washington State, and Oregon. And basically, all that rain you think is beautiful rain for your crops, it's filled with radiation. Billions of tons. I just showed y'all. Billions of tons filled with radiation. What y'all gonna do about that? I don't know why it's doing that. All right, we'll get somewhere else. Hey, 23. Hey, Pauline, how are you, ma'am? All right, remember I told y'all this would happen before it happened. Once this fault finished building here between Syria and Turkey, I said all of the momentum would be pushed into the Aegean Sea. And what are we? We're at the end of times and expecting an earthquake, 10.0 earthquake out of the Aegean Sea. And I showed y'all that every little island in the Aegean Sea, which I believe this is where the only reason I believe this is where Atlantis was is because they found they found Poseidon's statue and his monument, and that was supposedly in Atlantis. They found it this year. And look, imagine, grab your cloak, run. Run to the highest mountain, which means tsunami risk. It's going to wipe out 7 armies: Egypt, Turkey, Syria, or HTS, whatever you want to call it, Iran, Iraq, not Jordan. Jordan's playing nice. Jordan's prince actually evacuated about 12 months ago and hasn't been back. So that's one way to play nice, right? One way to play nice. But look at the swarm that you see right here. We never saw this until 3 weeks ago. Am I right? But I, in fact, told you this exact thing was going to occur. As soon as this plate boundary right here got formed, then all the energy is going to run from all the plates into the Aegean Sea here, eventually creating or forcing one of the big volcanoes that have gone off many times. We'll kind of do it for you guys. These have all erupted within the last 10,000 years. if they're in black with less than 15,000 years. And hey, that's a speck of time. They shouldn't even be limiting to 15,000 years, but they are. But they are. So we'll deal with that. All right, now we have 3 volcanoes. There are about 20,000 in Iceland, so 3 is a nice number. We've got the Azore Islands lighting up. Wow. Around Sicily and Italy, got a lot of light up there. Cape Verde. Palma is behaving. A lot in Ethiopia. There's actually 2 here. You can't see them. 3, 4, 5. This is all mentioned in the Bible. This is Ethiopia right here, man. And then, of course, awakening volcanoes all the way down to Herd Volcano, which was erupting 2-3 days ago. That's South Sandwich. Michael Volcano there. The Peruvian Wedge here. That one's a little scary, that 4.9 offshore. I'm glad it wasn't an 8.9 or 7.9. Then it would have been the second most deadly earthquake ever to hit where this meets this South American plate boundary, hits the Pacific plate boundary, hits the Antarctic plate boundary here. It happened right there. I think they lost about 105,000 people, whereas in Haiti, they lost 360,000, something like that. That's because the Clintons, they needed some extra stuff. All right, let's quickly look at it. The Central America is a mess. All that PM 2.5 from all those volcanoes, they're erupting, moving right into the central plains of the U.S. Enjoy all that wheat basket fruit, because that's where we get all of our food right there. And you know, we're slowly kicking out China. We're slowly kicking out people like Bill Gates. But if these volcanoes decide to go off, Mother Nature will decide if you get to eat or not. I say that because I'm an oil and gas attorney that looks at drill cores. So every 3,600 years, something happens to make these volcanoes go off. And I think we're about 2 to 10 years from that 3,600 year cycle. You can actually see it if you just go on your vacation next time to the Grand Canyon. Find yourself a piece of wall, if you can get down to the bottom of the canyon, piece of wall, and then look for a dark layer. That's, I guess, about a third. That'd be about 3 years. A third, about a centimeter is about a year. And these are guesstimates. None of these people know. I'm guesstimating on geologists that have told me this stuff. Every 3,600 years, you see huge ash deposits, which tells you that these volcanoes are going off every 3,600 years, almost in synchronicity every 3,600 years, which could in fact mean that there is another body passing, a black hole passing, a secondary star passing. It opens a door for a pole flip every 3,600 years instead of every 11 years. I want you to know that no pole flip that we've ever seen that they've measured has been a 180. So the sun flips a perfect 180, right? Well, they're seeing pole flips from us 40, 60, 70%. So everything goes everywhere. Here we go, Ohio again. 2 kilometers, probably drilling. Okay, probably drilling. Ohio has produced 3 billion barrels of oil since 1859. I did look that up because I zoomed in and found what I thought were some drilling rigs. All right, here we have Cascadia subduction zone at 2.8. No one reporting shit, right? No one reporting shit right there. And they call it a slip joint, but you know what? it's all part of the Cascadia subduction system, right? It's all part of the system. Let's not kid ourselves in any way. All right, let's go to the next one. 6'8", 6'8", anybody? A 6'2", anybody? How about an aftershock of a 5.0? Remember the biggest one we've ever seen at Cobb Mountain? We just, this last 5 minutes, just had a 4.0 with a tsunami warning. That could be Mount Spur, Mount Hayes. God, it's right up in there in the bay. This area right here is Anchorage. 90% of all Alaskans live in Anchorage. If Anchorage goes, look at this swarm here across from Anchorage. Let me just put it on. Only eight. But look at that swarm there near Anchorage. Then we have this huge one. We're actually going to have to hit the National Data Buoy. National Data Buoy Service to see if there's any problems up there. There is. There's a damn, oh wow, that's a decent tsunami. Oh wow, that's the biggest one I've ever seen. It's 2 meters or 7 feet. That is the biggest tsunami I've ever seen off of a 4 point whatever. This is your column height. Went from about 28, not quite 7 feet, but 6 feet. This is huge, 27 here. And here they're showing the event much smaller. They're talking about 15 centimeters here, about a foot. Still, even at a foot, it's the biggest event that I've ever seen. That's how many tsunamis have been going off. And I was going to show y'all, there's only about 20 tsunami buoys in the whole world. The rest of them are something else, unfortunately. All right. Let's get down to where it counts. Now, we've seen all the new areas open up. We've seen the Aegean Sea open up. We've seen the Peruvian-Chilean Wedge open up. We've seen Alaska Spur Mountain, Mount Hayes open up. We've seen every single other place in the world open up except for the West Coast. Y'all get ready. You can run, but you can never hide. This is going to be a big number. I don't know if we have anyone new playing tonight. This is a Calpine unit. It's called Geysers. It's a geothermal plant where they drill into Cobb Mountain, which is an active volcano. They then use the steam to turn turbines, and they actually are covering all of Oakland, San Francisco, a lot of Sacramento here, even the Palo Alto Valley here, Paul Pelosi's wine country here, with his gay queers. Or did I say that? If anyone wants to guess, how many happened at work today while you were on Cobb Mountain working for Calpine? Remember, I've seen a 5.8 or 5.9 there. I don't remember it was a 5.8 or 5.9. A 3.0 brings me to my knees because I drilled 72 wells in Northern California, so I'm used to it. Well, I'm not used to it. Everyone else seemed to keep banking. Well, I had to. They tell you to grab the floor, right? Unless you're in a building, then go outside and grab the floor. Only to find out that these huge earthquakes that I thought I was in were 3.0s. Now, yes, we were the exact epicenter of them, which makes a difference, or close to the epicenter of them makes a difference. But it took me 15, 20 minutes to get over it. All right, I'm going to say Cobb Mountain here. is going to be 48. Tiffany, that's a good number. Should I get her? Should I do 49? Or should I do 47? I'm going to be smart. I'm going to do 49. Tiff! You okay? Thinker, great to see you. How are you? Great to see you. Mike Johnson, you never sent the Glock pictures. I checked out the Rife. It's awesome. The Glock pictures. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Oh, Tiff beat me. Tiff beat me. What's the walkabout, player? Think you're walking about the different channels trying to learn? Is that the walkabout? I hear that. There's 40, Tip. You won. Tiffany Hartman. She always wins pretty much. I think she cheats. Did y'all hear that this is Oakland over here? Their new mayor that was elected yesterday, and all the African American and all yellow, has promised everyone a $50 minimum wage. She claims to have owned a business, although it never made a profit, obviously. She claims that the world can actually function with a $50 minimum wage, forced $50 minimum wage. And the brothers, they voted her in so quick and make your eyes swim, right? Make your eyes swim. But what you're going to find out is a $50 minimum wage just means that all the stores are leaving, and you're going to be driving out of the city or out of the county to buy your goods, services, etc. What a joke. And she'll be stealing from your coffers for 4 straight years. Right? I mean, let's just tell it like it is, shall we? Do we have to lie? Do we always have to lie about it? We don't like lying. Let's see if anything happened to the Cascades up here. I didn't cover that. The one that Miss Teresa turned us on to, Glacier Peaks, one of the most active. That's Rainier, St. Helens, Adams. This is Mount Hood. These are the 7 sisters going back down. And not much going on. Of course, Sierra Nevada will be the West Coast here in sooner rather than later. Got a lot of happenings around Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area, because this is one of the 4 places where you call it San Andreas Fault, which there's no really such thing. It's the North American Pacific Plate boundary. That's the Sea of Cortez. That's the Gulf of, I'm going to call it the Gulf of California, although it's the Sea of Salton Sea, Sea of Cortez. I like to rename things. Hey, Amanda! Joel's up 2. All right. Well, hopefully you'll read it to me. I'm going to take some extraordinary steps. I won't lie, that surgery physically it took me out of it this week, guys, and I apologize if I didn't get the right words across, but physically it just took me out of it this time. Especially with Caitlin trying to fail out of school on me. All right, that's all I need. All right, here we go now. Watch, negative 2.6 kilometers. Now, how high is that? Hold on. So my whole computer had to be. So it's 8,530 feet. Y'all got that? Y'all just remember that. 8,530 feet. Negative 2.6 kilometers. So then we go into Peakery here. So this, and I called the USGS about this, and they said that this is possible. They call it an airquake. Everything's going to be new because I had to restart. I had to reload my whole computer, guys. I got so mad. They got me so bad. They got me so bad, but I wasn't going to give up. I wanted to. Everyone wants to give up. It's the easy way out, right? All right, look what I'm going to do here. All right, this is where we are right here. I can just tell you because I'm smart. There's Grand Junction. I lived in Grand Junction for about 2 years. Talk about boring. This is part of the western slope of, it's all oil and gas. The problem is the highest peak right here is, well, and this is not going to blow us out of proportion here. Let's see if we can zoom in, show you where this is. So same function here, and we're down here, kind of where this does that. So same function here, we're down here, kind of where this does that. We don't have a real good height number. 9,000 feet. So this earthquake, 9,000 feet, was way 8,900 feet, way up on the peaks of these volcanoes. These are all volcanoes that I'm showing y'all, and y'all know where we can go from here, right? My good subscribers know where we can go from here to everything they've been hiding for all these years from the American people. Right under their nose, all of the great past dynasties and religions, for that matter. So this one's not as high as I thought it might be. A 3-1. This formation here is called Wawa Springs. It's a shield volcano. They swore that they didn't discover it till 2013. Well, if we went to space, couldn't we look down and see this huge caldera here? We can see Yellowstone perfectly outlined here, the Lake of Yellowstone here, two big, a 0.8 and a 1.7, very shallow at Yellowstone here. We can see all the calderas. How come we didn't discover this until I had to push it? That's what happened. They didn't want y'all to know the biggest shield volcano in the world is sitting in a 6-state area right here in the middle of the U.S. Now, y'all probably heard of the Central American Craton. Craton. So this fracking is because where the cratons that hasn't moved in 19 million years, we all know that's New Madrid. The craton through here, it's starting to move, and that's really bad. I was hoping this was going to be closer to the water because I could have blamed it on some salt mines right there that are right there in the water, but it's not. It's not. All right, so at least they're admitting 2 fires in, Saskatchewan and Alberta here, in red here. So they're admitting that they have acreage on fire. This is current from the government of Canada. Suri. And, I want to say it looks better than it did. Regularly, I hate that fire right there. 2,138 acres, 22% contained. And I won't say that it's on Wawa Springs. It's south of Wawa Springs. Usually you'll see all of Wawa Springs light up. These are the volcanoes that stopped the Colorado River from flowing and created the Grand Canyon. That water makes its way through one way or another, right? One way or another. There's nothing in Washington State, nothing in Oregon. There's one little fire up here in Idaho. Look at Mexico. Mexico is on fire, especially south of Mexico City. See what we've got over here. Juniper Swamp, it's a decent sized fire. And then wildly, this is kind of wild. See how we're doing up here. So 1,300 acres. And that's going to be in Long Island. Am I saying that right? New Jersey, I mean. Singing New Jersey shores. We have 560 acres. How about 66.6%? And then here you can see all these faults that they're drilling on here, oil and gas. Another 2,248 acres. These would not be completely out of the ordinary fires if there was something happening on the West Coast. Since they're not, they're completely out of the ordinary fires, and all this crap are the volcanoes going off, spewing that PM 2.5 into the Central Plains where our damn food is grown, or used to be grown. Look at all the fires. We got some really bad situations here. Look, they even turned it off for 6 hours. When they turn it off, it turns to gray and then off. So they're being really, really slimy here. These are all large fires, and the dots are smaller fires. We'll see what the Central Plains looks like. Everything in yellow is basically deadly. And look, everything up in Boston's turned off. Turn it off! By all means, turn off every federal monitoring station in Boston, right? These smaller ones are people's homes. You can go to air.now, and it used to be $200, now it's like $600, and buy your own. These are the smaller circles, and they're great because you can trust them a lot more, but they still go to that same substation, and they can be manipulated when they get there or before they're there. Look at New York. Just terrible air quality, fires everywhere, all the way up to Marcellus. Fire. This is out of the ordinary for sure. Look at Mississippi. Look at Alabama. Look at Louisiana, the big thicket right here. I swore if the big thicket caught on fire, there's no stopping it. But then look down here on the border. But then move over. Now we got a little bit PM 2.5 caught in the valley from these offshore volcanoes and from volcanoes in the Sea of Cortez. There's a really bad one at someone's home that they don't want y'all to know about. My gosh, look, they turned it off. Might be one of the worst ones I've ever seen. We'll say top 5 for sure. About 10 minutes in that area, you're dead, right? You're dead. What area is that? Little River Airport. I'm not going going to pretend like I know where this is. I'm looking for something I might know. There's Fort Bragg up there to the north. So I guess, are we going to still be in California? See, I guess we're still in California, aren't we? Look, they're hiding another one under here. It's just as bad. These are the ones that you can trust. Only at 344, but completely deadly. Just 10 parts per million increase your lung cancer percentage by 36%. Is that what WHO says? I want to make sure I get exactly what WHO says down. This is all the volcanoes in the Central Americans erupting. The darker red is our new Landsat. Now, how do we make a brand new satellite that it can only sense? It's on a balloon. That's how. It can only sense like 250 miles across. Here's one stripe. Here's another stripe. Here's another stripe. Here's another stripe. It's sad. All of Cuba is on fire. This whole place is about to go up. We've got the least fires I've ever seen over here in Madagascar and in the Congo. Gosh, the rainforest. I've never seen the rainforest even close to this quiet fire-wise ever. That's all spread into where the volcanoes are here in Central America. And we have some volcanoes awakening up here. Never seen the rainforest like this, ever. All right. Let's get this party going, shall we? Well, you know, I never thought I would say that the northern hemisphere looks as bad as the southern hemisphere. But does it? But does it? No, James, it doesn't. That was a 140 mile per hour white part I saw there. No. It's always... Do y'all know that 90% of the people on Earth live at 30 degrees north latitude, or is it longitude, or higher? So most everyone on Earth, 90% of the people, live 30 degrees north or higher. That points to a possibility of flat Earth. Look at Sunday, just blowing up here. We'll try that again here. We'll try that again. The Northeast looks like it gets hammered tomorrow. Texas, I get hammered tomorrow. These are spinning the wrong way to be highs, although they'll try to name them as highs. They're spinning, as you can see, counterclockwise, which is a subtropical low. Makes me wonder if we've tilted quite a bit already. Look at this blowing up on Saturday. And then look off the coast of California here. That's going to be San Fran there. Look at Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be talking about hundreds of tornadoes. But what is today? Today's Tuesday, so we have till Saturday to worry about that. Wonderful deal. I wanted to show y'all some of this PM 2.5 that's heading to our central plains here. It's mostly created by these volcanoes that are going off here. And remember, it's also stuck in the valleys. Los Angeles being the Los Angeles Valley, and Catalina being one of the many volcanoes that spews gas, just like Long Valley Caldera right here at Mammoth Mountain, right? Spews deadly carbon monoxide, deadly PM 2.5. Look, you can see the whole valley getting screwed up here. And all this, see the winds pushing this deadly PM 2.5 from these volcanoes into the United States up here, especially into our breadbasket of the United States right here, to make sure everyone gets their fair amount, right? All right, let me update this because they're manipulating the fucking weather again. It pissed me off, but there's nothing I can do about it. See the brown stuff? That's your byproduct of the black stuff. There's some black stuff, watch. See the black stuff? No matter where it is, you'll see, look, irregular lightning here. No, we didn't get to see them lay it down here. The brown coming out the back end, well, that's what's created after the silver oxide and barium light that thing up and shock that storm. Get it going. Why are they possibly trying to create tornadoes at 12 p.m. at night? That's exactly what they're doing here. You can see exactly what they're doing. It's easy to see. 12 at night on a Tuesday night? These people are sick. That's why. You have to understand that. And this is just so y'all know that they're really trying to create tornadoes. Let me get Tornado Pass. I redid all my systems, even starting in my closet. Couldn't let them win, guys. So everything has got to be typed in new. We'll never know if we read the same chapter again. It's all right. So today, what do we see? Well, I guess it's not Wednesday yet. So this is more than confusing. It's Central Time. Oh, is it? It's not when. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I told you I know that steak night's tomorrow. It's Tuesday. How do they have this at 7:06 a.m. early with injuries? Y'all want to answer me that one? Kindly? That won't happen now. Even Central Time for shit. 8 hours. 8 hours and 8 minutes. Look at this. That is a shit show there. So today, Tuesday, 4 simple tornadoes. One caused a lot of damage here. It's right on top of, look, right on top of this one. This is making a little sense. I'm guessing this is a typo. Isn't that funny? How just some dude doing his YouTube channel always comes up with typo after typo. And these are supposed to be professionals. They're checking, double checking, quadruple checking before they even put anything on this list. This is University of Michigan's tornado 48-hour specialty list. They're never wrong, are they? They're always wrong. All right. I can see Nebraska's chaffing out. Whatever is going on there. And, hey, I just updated this the second. These look like tornadoes to me. I know these are supercells. These look like tornadoes because the red is going to be heavy thunderstorms. Right around Tulsa here, Oklahoma City, tornado here. Let's see if I can get anything to form around me. They turned the radar off in Oklahoma City. The reason it's red is because it's turned off. The National Weather Service, or it got hit by lightning, right? No, they don't want y'all to see what the hell they're doing there to intensify the storm as it goes into Arkansas and Missouri. It's the real deal. We all know it. All right. All right. Today, they did okay. I mean, they did okay. Nothing special. Nothing special. We got 4 tornadoes in this general area here. Only one with some serious damage. Tomorrow, we're looking at tornadoes here in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas for sure. Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas look like they might take the brunt of that beast. And then light showers and light mixed precipitation. And think about this, going into Thursday, with Saturday being I hope y'all remember this. I know my good subscribers will. Saturday is going to be a breakout tornado day. A breakout tornado day. I'm talking about 30, 40, 50, 100 tornadoes. That's right, this Saturday, not next Saturday. All right, I want to bring y'all into space weather. We were able to maintain, I really don't know if we were, a C flare here. We did go below it there for a few hours. It's been about a year maintaining a C plus flare. It used to be an A flare when I started. It was an A flare. And we're just using GOES 18 long right now. And what we've learned today is there were 3 M-class solar flares. And we'll take a look at those and we'll see where they came from. Because, of course, I have it all ready to go, as usual. All right, let's see where the first one was an M1.7. There's nothing below this. M1.7, 5:13 UTC time, which would have been midnight 13 last night Central Time, 12:13 Central Time last night, just after the day started. Then that was followed by those 2 M-class solar flares that we saw that were almost like peaks. One at 10:30, which would have been 3:03 in the morning. No wonder I can't sleep anymore. The next one at 11, which would have been 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. And they're all at a 4:07.8 and 4:07.9. And at 176, probably here, it's going to be the most powerful for the last 72 hours, most powerful the last 24 hours. Oh my God, look at our baseline. Oh my God. Oh, I didn't think it would happen. I almost feel let down in a way. A B, 8.61 baseline. I believe that we have a very good chance of having an X-class solar flare. I believe they will up these chances by tomorrow big time based on a sunspot coming around the limb. I just can't believe this. So, we had a 50% chance of having an M-class solar flare. That ship did sail, and of course, a C-class solar flare, that ship did sail as well. But we're in a B 8.61 baseline. Wow. And we're supposed to be at the polar maximum, which I don't believe them. You don't go from polar maximums last about 18 months. So the minute they said it was the polar maximum, everything went to kaput. And then they put 4 new satellites in orbit and took us off of the other ones. So everything you see here are from new satellites they've just orbited this year. And you know what I think about that. You can imagine what I think about that. Right. It's our friendly star. A couple small coronal holes. Some filaments moving around here. This is a flare that or a sunspot group we all need to watch right here. It is super duper here. We'll see what happens. It is in the northern hemisphere, so it shouldn't cause us a whole lot of pain or agony. All right. And I think we said 6.5. Wait. We said 7.9 and 7.8. Seven, 9. There she is. There she is. And 7.8, which is nothing. All the green spots are simple, either alpha, beta signatures. This is going to be a delta spot. It's already beta gamma. It's already beta gamma orange. And I believe that it will produce an X flare. And Earth will be in the path, depending on where we are at that time. I would say in 4 days would be a bad time. We'll take a look at where we are right now. Go ahead. 4 days, nothing. But if we go a few more days and that moon gets behind Earth and we start to really open up here, well, we have Jupiter and Uranus opposing. We could see a major solar flare at this time here, and this would be on the 11th, May 11th, okay, May 11th. And I would look for action in and around that time period, or more than action, right? So, lots of love. Let me, in case everyone missed it tonight, let me put up our buy us a cup of coffee. It blows you up on Twitter if you want to go check us out on Twitter. If you buy us a cup of coffee and love a super chat, it makes my day. So, is there anything that you guys need covered? Oh, let me make sure I hit the Schumann resonance for y'all. The Schumann resonance for y'all. Have like 50 of them, but we'll try to get you the best ones. Hurt touching my asthma in there. All right. You can see nothing's been happening. Nothing's been happening. Nothing. Looks like nothing. Nothing. So there's been no spikes, no nothing, no Schumann resonance. No one's ascending anywhere. All I see is people descending, becoming... what's the definition? As a system continues to operate, it becomes more complex, and more complex. It's kind of like taking 3 or 4 pool balls and slam them against the bumper all at the same time in the back bumper. In a minute or two, they're going to all be going every which way but loose. And I think we have our reading for tonight. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Who am I speaking with?
Amy Collins, how are you? You have my permission to take me live.
All right, Ms. Collins, you had a decent day today?
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, I was there like from 10 a.m. to 9:30 cleaning one Airbnb. Oh God. Oh, terrible people.
They must have terrible clients. I would
When
never.
you do an Airbnb, you never know what you're walking into. Either somebody left it nice or somebody just trashed it. You just don't know.
I've never rented an Airbnb. I'd rather the Ritz-Carlton or something high-end every day. Just because, come 1 o'clock in the morning, I want to be able to get a cheeseburger. But that's just me, right? That's just me.
I love cheeseburgers too. I got one today at 10:30 at night. Didn't have breakfast, didn't have lunch. Got to eat at 10:30 tonight. That was my day.
Yeah, I ate at 9. I picked up the seafood platter over at the seafood shop.
Yum.
And tomorrow is steak night. The $49 steak is $22 with mashed potatoes, asparagus, and a side salad.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, for $20 you can't beat it. There's another one that we hit every week. It's surf and turf for $26. Oof, and good cuts of meat. The same meal at both those places. What's funny is they thought that those were off nights, but now those are their most filled nights. They don't realize how hard up people are, and if you get $50 meal for $20,
Yeah, it's worth it. Especially if you get to write it off of your taxes.
That's right, which I do everything. I write 50% off of everything. It used to be 100%, but now, hopefully.
Well, if I take one of my employees with me, it's 100%.
No, it's not anymore. Biden changed it last year.
But whenever I filed this year, they had two separate entries. One for, like if it was a business meeting and everybody was there, it was 100.
Right. Well, that's what they should be having. They should be having, but Biden took that out for 2024, I think, only, and now I think it's jumped back in.
Well,
that's what I think.
When I did my Schedule C, there was a 50 and 100 place today.
Right, so one's entertainment, and then the other's business luncheon. But I can show you the law. He changed it. It only affected last year. Because I had to learn about it. For me, that's a huge deduction. For me, I deduct $15,000 a year off of the other half of my dinners, right? Or even if I don't want 2 dinners, I'm buying 2 no matter what, right?
Right.
Just because I'll write it all off. That's especially during COVID, you could write it all off. Before COVID, you could write it all off. No, I'll have to see what she did because I don't only have a Schedule C, I have a Schedule D, which is the same thing for ETFs. And I've got a lot of royalties, so I have a bunch of schedules that write off income for different types of income. So, you know what? If I have to be a professional CPA too, I might as well not even be in business.
Oh, no. They try to throw the book at Trump over one entry. I mean, now you want to go look at
the entry was laughable too. And who that's a CEO has ever looked at their books?
I do mine every year. I don't trust anybody.
Well, if I had that, if you have 75 attorneys working for you and 15 secretaries, Amy, you can't do that, You just can't because it ruins your work product and your ability to get business. So you have to give somebody that, which I told you, I was audited. I won the audit, but after 4 years of fighting them in court, who cares who wins, right?
Right? After 4 years, nobody cares. I got a Joel chapter 2 for you.
Yes, ma'am. They just wanted me out of there. Tired of hearing my voice.
See ya.
Every morning on the way to work, I'd stop by the big RS building, check my gun, so they knew I had one, check my gun, walk up and sit in the chief prosecutor's office and said, look, everything here is legit. I've got all the receipts. 4 years. When I finally did get, I call it let go. They charged me $1,000 and shut the fuck up and get the hell out of here. That's pretty much being let go with the IRS. Still I wanted more. I didn't feel like it was fair. It hurt my business so bad as far as my business development.
I'm fighting with Google right now to get my website back up. They took me down and I'm fighting an appeal.
Why did they take you down?
Because they said they didn't like the picture of my business license or something. Like I submitted it with my business insurance and they're like, no, we don't like that format. I'm like, well, what do you want? This is my business license. This is my business insurance. What do you want?
Amy, if you want me to do your deal and make sure you're first every month on every search, that's what I do for everybody, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you. I'll have to talk to my partners, but for probably with web maintenance, you on the website, everything done under $250 a month, and you'll get so many calls that you won't be able to fill the spots. So I do a lot of attorneys. I do some cleaning companies, so I know I can do it. I do orthodontics. I do dentists. And then
I only want a few keywords. I don't want to do maids. I just want to do like post-construction, move in, move out, and vacation rental.
well, those are heavier jobs, but
I know, that's the ones that I want to make the money.
yeah, I got you. Remember, I tell you,
I ain't fooling around for $150.
But I tell you, I used to actually have a company that we went through over 150 vacuums. We did the build out cleanups on a wholesale with the docks in the back. And, I was a little kid. I was probably 17, 18, 19, 20 during that time period, but I made several $100,000. But I was there every night from 6 with all my crew of 14 till sometimes 4 in the morning. The next morning, the people would walk in and they thought it was like that. Well, it all depended on how far your construction crew got that night and what kind of mess they left you.
Yeah.
And eventually, they pushed me too far, so I threw the contract back in their face. That's just how things go, right?
Yeah. I was on my hands and knees picking paint the other night.
Joel, what?
Chapter 2.
2. We have no memory on my computers. I had to redo this main computer. So I've never heard about the locust, so it should be new. See. We'll do NIV, guys.
I got my King James, of course.
Yeah, well, I'll highlight as we go, and you're on an army of locusts.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Yep.
Got that?
Yes, ma'am. Sound the alarm on my holy hill.
My holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. There hath not been over the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is the appearance of horses, and the horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth stubble, and as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, and they shall climb the mountain like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways. They shall not break their brakes. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. And the sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars will withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. He is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Thereto also now, saith the Lord, turn ye even with me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart, not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your God. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent, and leave a blessing behind him, even a meat offering and a drink offering unto the Lord your God. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, and those that suck the breasts. Let his bridegroom go forth of his chamber, and the bride out of her closet. Let the priests, the ministers of the Lord, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare the people, O Lord, and give not thine heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their God?
Amen.
Then will the Lord be jealous for his land and pity his people? Yea, the Lord will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and you shall be satisfied therewith. And I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen, but I'll remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward, almost done, a little bit more, the east sea, and his inner part towards the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree beareth her fruit, the fig and the vine do yield their strength. Be glad in ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God. He hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, the latter rain in the first month. And the floor shall be full of weeds, and the vat shall overflow with wine and oil. I will restore you to the years that the locust hath eaten, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. Ye shall eat in plenty, and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, and hath dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. You shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. It shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions. We're seeing that right now. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days I will pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in heavens and the earth, blood and fire, and the pillars of smoke, which we're seeing right now. The sun shall be turned into darkness, the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. And in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Amen.
He is wrapping it up at this point. This is the end of the... Is there a chapter after this one?
There's chapter 3. It's awesome. I'll read it tomorrow if you want.
All right, well, I'm just wondering, because this is wrapping it up here, boys and girls.
Yep.
You've either done good, bad, then you will be judged. And, I pray that this comes a time where everyone can handle it. I believe that this time we're going through right now is making everyone stronger and stronger, although I know a lot of people believe it's making them weaker and weaker. I don't believe...
I think it's getting us ready for when it really happens.
Right. I believe y'all are getting stronger. Y'all just don't realize it at this point.
No, they don't.
Because I feel like it's tough on me. I mean, I'm a grown man. I haven't done it, okay? But I could just sit there in bed all day, not help the Lord, not do anything, and just feel sorry for myself, and just feel sorry for the world, and feel sorry for the U.S., and feel sorry for this, feel sorry for that. But you know what? What good is that going to do me or anyone else? Nothing. Nothing. Amy, tell us what you got out of this. Obviously, this is the blowhard end all of all.
It is. I really love this chapter because it's a prophecy of all the things that's going to happen whenever the day comes. It's about the sun, it's about the moon, it's about the... it even talks about the sky, and you're always talking about skyquakes,
Right. Well, I want to compliment you on how great you read that.
Oh, thank you. And it talks about, the wheat. It talks about the beast. How he's going to take care of us, how we're not going to be ashamed.
I mean...
how we're going to cry out to him. It also talks about the war pre-game, and how they're going to be holding themselves down. I mean, it talks about a lot. It is that whole chapter. And I love the part where it talks about, what the old men are going to be doing and what the young men are going to be doing. And, who's getting dreams, who's getting visions, what's going to happen. And when you see these things happening, that's when you know it's coming. And YouTube is covered in dreams and prophecies.
Guys, just so you guys know, I can't even go to sleep anymore. I'm so afraid to dream. That's where it's gotten to me. If I don't take a Xanax to just kill my dream or whatever, it's gotten so horrendous. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but always vivid. And I feel like I'm fighting either for your lives or my life every night, physically. I mean, I've even done black belt kicks where my comforter went flying through the room,
Mm-hmm.
So,
it sounds like me with a hot flash.
Oh, shit. Well, thanks, but no thanks. I'll learn my lesson. Right.
When we see the sun go dark, when we see the moon go dark, when we see the stars not shining, that's the day you need to get down on your knees and pray, because he's coming the very next day. Those are his signs.
I thought it was so weird how all the space agencies came out and said it was, and I showed y'all this last night in our live, it was a freak atmospheric situation that put the lights out in those 4 countries. And then today it's just a hack, or supposedly not even a hack, just something went wrong with two of the solar fields. Come on. Why did they come out and talk all this crap yesterday only to back it up, just like they did, I guess, what do they call it when the aliens supposedly landed in 1947 at Area 51? They crashed. What do y'all call that?
I don't know what they called that. I just called it the incident.
I'm going to tell y'all the truth, okay? I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Y'all are going to hate the truth, but I know the truth. It was a Mylar balloon. If you read everyone there that cleaned up the crash, all of the sheriff's departments that took the shit home, I would ball it up. When I let it go, it turned back to, and I saw the 5 top witnesses, and when they were shown Mylar, which is what balloons that go to the stratosphere are made out of, right? They said, this is it, all 11 of them, every one of them, all 11 of them. So all it was a what
about some of the people saying they saw bodies of aliens and stuff?
You know what? The tale will keep going as long as you let it.
I'm saying, like, some of them did say that.
Hey, I would be more apt to believe in dimensions and demons than I would to believe in aliens. Just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me say this.
I was visited. I know they exist.
The minute that these people told me the properties, I didn't have to wait for the test or the video on the test. I knew it was a Mylar balloon the first time I heard the first Army sergeant tell us what would happen if you put it in his backpack and crumpled it up. If y'all take Mylar, which they probably didn't know a lot about at the time, and you ball it up, it all goes back to straight as perfect, right? And it would seem metallic, right? It would seem metallic. And we...
You want to hear the weirdest thing that ever happened to me? So when I was 16 and I was living in the woods, like in western North Carolina, these aliens came down, no kidding, and they captured me in my bedroom. And this big one, the big, tall, skinny one, had the big eyes and the pointy chin, real thin lips, and it just like communicated with me telepathically. It was like it basically said, we're going to do what we want with you, so just put up with it. And I was like paralyzed. I couldn't scream, I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything.
You sure that wasn't the football quarterback and y'all are drinking heavy?
No, I know those parties too, but this was in my room. This happened, okay?
We're gonna do what we want with you.
Yeah. No, I know those parties, but that's a whole different thing. But anyway, they take me up in the ship. They put me in this like well-lit room. There's this slab steel table. Several of them. There was other kids in there. Well, I should say teenagers. What they did was they harvested us. They took my eggs. They took men's semen. And in the next room that I could see over, the only other room I could see into, was like these glass balls, and they had these babies in them, human babies.
Sure.
And they had these tubes coming out of these glass tubes.
We can do that now.
I know, but they were harvesting the power from the babies to run the ship. That's what they used them for.
Oh. Hey, you sure you weren't watching the movie The Matrix?
Oh, I'm telling you, this is what
I'm
happened
kidding,
to me.
Amy, I love you. I'm kidding.
It happened. I know that. I saw that.
I don't doubt you. I don't doubt you. I just didn't. I've never heard anyone say that they were harvesting the energy from the babies. I thought they were trying to create. This is what I thought. Some sort of being that's in between, so that they can get their feelings and their love back and all that crap. But now you're telling me
the fetus creates more energy
so
in the time it's being born than any other time in the world. Because there's a lot of cell division and there's a lot of energy.
A lot of people don't know that a human is an electrical computer. 100% electrical. If I tell my finger to do that, that was probably like 100 million electrical signals that went from my brain down through my arm, into my wrist, and into my finger.
They were taking the electrical impulses of those babies and fueling the ship with the electronic energy that the people were putting out. That was what they were using us for. I kid you not.
So, Daryl, I heard they can't take our soul, and they're trying to figure out how to take it. And that's what they're
I don't know
really...
anything about that. They took me back to my room, and I never saw them again. But I'm just telling you, I know they exist. I've seen them.
Well, hey, what do we do to every single animal that we can? We capture them. We might let them go regular with a dart in them or something, so we always know where they're at. But we capture them, we breed them, and then sometimes, more so better than usual, we let them go back into the wild. But we also chipped them, so then we follow their habits to learn more and more about them.
Yeah, they put a little thing right behind my ear on the left side, too.
And that's actually a place that I've heard about it put over 1,000 times. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I've been ringing in that ear to this day.
Yeah, I've had
tinnitus ever since.
I'm the kind of guy that probably would have carved it out, but it probably wouldn't have been very fun.
So anytime they're near, my ears ring louder.
They usually hook it to a nerve so that you won't screw with it, because that causes the most pain.
Yeah, I've been to
What are we looking at? What are we looking at proof for? You know.
To what now?
I'm not sure if Tiff's talking to you or who. But there is no proof. You wake up, you have fainting memories.
No, I knew exactly what happened the whole time, and then when I woke up the next day, I knew exactly what happened. There was no like fog about it. It was crystal clear, and it is like embedded, like all the details.
All right. So what's the worst part of it?
Well, I didn't really feel pain when they took the harvesting.
But
I guess they're really smart about it. I don't
But
know.
are you mad? Of course. I mean, we could do that right now, and you wouldn't feel. Even at our level, we could take your egg, and it'd be.
No, what bothers me is I wonder how many little alien babies I got up there in space.
You got a whole cleaning crew.
I don't know how many eggs they took. I don't know how many little Amy's there are running around out there in space. That's what I want to know.
A whole cleaning crew, I can assure you.
They got a lot of little mini-me's up there, and that's what bothers me the most about the whole thing. I'll never see those kids.
Well, and usually they bring those children back occasionally. Now, my understanding.
I didn't see any adolescent kids. I didn't see any toddlers. You only saw embryos. So maybe when they're born, they bring. I don't know what they do with them. I didn't see that part. I couldn't even speak to it. Don't know the first thing about it. Don't know.
Maybe those are the ones running the government now, Amy.
Maybe.
I mean, if so, way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you. No matter what.
You're probably right. That's so sad.
Thanks. I mean, what do you want me to say? Thank you. Can we have another? So yes, I would believe that since we do that exact same thing, they call that one of the 4 or 5 theories. They call it zoo theory, is what they call it. So we're so below them that they study us from afar, and they do experimentations with our genes, etc. We're like a zoo that's been put off limits from the more intelligent beings. And if you don't listen, and if you come hunt one of them, then you get in trouble with the Federation, right?
I guess. All I know is I did a 1, 2, 3andMe test just to find out, more about my DNA. And I didn't have any diseases. I had no genetic defects. My IQ's pretty high. It's 138. So I think that they're very selective in who they pick. They want to pick people that have low defects as far as genetics, so that they can have, the best results up there.
Well, and my thoughts are they want to actually develop these people to put them back into our lives and have them shoot to the top of, i.e., humanity or whatever part of humanity they are, and their whole game plan is to pick the best specs to get the fastest car. Why would I want a slow car when I could get a fast car, right?
Right. Yeah, you want to get the Roush. You want to get the good one.
Right. So, I believe a lot to what you're saying. I can't prove it. If anyone doesn't know it, I looked today again at my attack. I call it my attack. I have 5 infrared cameras, and there must have been 20 orbs that hit that camera that night. They've never returned. There's nothing wrong with the camera. If I turn it all black, because I've had to do it just to make myself sane, turn it all black and throw a little feather or something in there, it looks like 747 just flew by, okay? So
Yeah, I've seen that video.
whatever those orbs were, they never returned. Not even for one time. Not even one single time.
I've seen orbs like that at my grandmother's house in the basement before.
It looked like all of them were headed right to the camera to me, but they didn't stop the camera from doing anything.
And I had a boyfriend spend the night downstairs in the basement one night in my 20s, and he went running up the stairs screaming, saying he wasn't going to sleep down there because he saw one of those orbs too.
And he's never to be seen again?
Well, he died a couple of years later, but he died by accident.
Or so they say.
Well, that's what he said. That's what his parents told me, you know.
Right. I get it, man. I get it.
But I'm just saying, I've seen those orbs before once, and he said he saw them once. So I've seen them.
Well, I can count 20 on that deal before they hit the lights, or whatever you want to call it. And right now, after my surgery, I'm worse off again than I was before the surgery. So.
Oh, you are? You're not getting better?
No. I'm just gonna. They're just not that advanced in eye surgery yet.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I want to give them one more chance, but me saving up $5,500 to pay them every 6 months for fun is, after the 10th time, it's a joke, right?
Yeah, 10th time would be a joke.
So, no big deal. Lots of love to everybody. When I always say, "Oh God, I've got it so bad," I can walk down the street 1 mile right here and see 4,000 people that have it worse than me.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people have it worse than we do.
Right. I'm not going to go out and whine. It'd be nice to be able to go out and whine and then get taken care of, but I don't think that's the setup here. The setup instead is do the right thing and use this as a learning experience. This life is a learning experience.
It is. If you're not loving and living and learning every day, then you're just wasting your time here.
And so learning and loving, we can take out living, because without those two, you're a nobody. So it's hard. But this whole trip is to teach you how to love, which is hard. Love means, and this is for me also hard, and God made it harder for people like me on purpose, but I can't put myself above anyone. I have to love the person for who they are, not what they do. And then learning. If I don't learn one single day of my life, I feel like I've wasted that life. That whole day, I feel like, God, no, there's never been a day that I haven't learned something. I will say that. There's enough out there that I will never know, that there can never be a day that I don't learn something. And we do have that going for us. If you just try a little bit, you can learn something, and then they're your deeds. You gotta do a deed or two. Like Amy read the Bible for us tonight. That's her deed for tonight, right? They're your deeds.
Boy, my deed was getting down on my hands and knees and scrubbing all those baseboards.
No, that wasn't your deed. We love you, Amy, but that wasn't your deed.
Hey, you saw some of those clothes, do you think twice?
Well, hey, I love all you guys, man. Hey, thanks for meeting zero. I think Amy did give me a super chat, so not 0% of our goals, but almost 0% of our goals. And no matter what, if I can...
When this construction company pays me up, I'll send you some work.
Well, guys, you know what? If I can keep it going, I will. And if not, it wasn't meant to be. That's it. But I'm sure God will make a way because
He always does.
and he knows it's not for the. It can't be for the money. If I showed y'all, how many hours do y'all think I work a month? A week.
On the channel or other stuff?
Just the channel alone.
I would say about 5 to 6 hours a day.
A day. So that's probably about perfect. I used to work twice that or 3 times that. But then you have to 35 hours, 35 hour a week. And my average income used to be, probably 2-3 grand a week. Now it's $300 a week.
That's ridiculous.
$300 a week. But I'm still putting in more and more hours every week. Because God said that if I don't give up, and of course, I can never think.
God says that if a man asks you to walk 1 mile, walk 2. So you got to go that extra mile no matter what.
That's what I'm actually doing. Man, a lot of my friends have quit YouTube over the last month because they couldn't pay their child support anymore. Because, Dan, I'm not going to go over why. Well, y'all know what Dan did. Y'all might not. He did himself bad in front of everybody at Easter with a gun. And if he just didn't...
Did you read that chapter I told you about?
I don't remember. It's been a tough couple of weeks on me, man.
I'm just saying that seems to be trending in that family because you said the brother did it too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't want the kids to follow that example.
God, I would almost adopt that little girl so I could teach her. But Dan was so good to her. He bought her a horse. He couldn't afford shit. He bought her this. He bought her that. Then he couldn't make child support. What do they do? 1 month and then not making child support? They give you a They give you a felony. Okay? They give you a felony.
They take your license. They do all kinds of stuff.
Wait.
If you take somebody's license, how can they go to work? I don't understand that part.
And if you give them a felony, how are they going to get a job?
Yeah, that doesn't help matters. I don't know why they do that. I mean, it's just like they just want to pack the jails, and that doesn't get anybody fed and paid. Nobody.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
It is a for-profit system here where I come from, so a lot of people are making millions at it.
I'm just saying, the kids are hurting because the jails are full of dads that hadn't paid.
And the funny thing is, why make it a felony the first month that you're late on your deal? No, I
get it if it was a year, but sometimes people fall on hard times and have a hard time getting a job.
What if they had a stroke like me, or had a medical problem? It's not like the court says, "Oh, give him a waiver, man." That's not how it works.
It should work like that.
It should. But what they do is the attorneys, and y'all are going to get mad at me, they set it up so there's free attorneys for the females, free everything for the females, free child support, free, even during the divorce, free food stamps. What they do is they want to create division between the nuclear family, and what they do is they take during a divorce, regularly about 60 to 70% of the wealth from that family, they redistribute it amongst those 2 attorneys and their staff.
Yeah.
That's who makes the rules too, though, in each state. Attorneys are your lawmakers making the rules. So that's, of course, why the rules are how they are. The redistribution, and how many times do you think those two divorce attorneys have worked together in the last 20 years in the same county? Hell, in the last 1 year in the same county. I got lucky as shit, and they CC'd me an email talking to each other. Let's take them. They got plenty of money. And so they gave me all my money back. They gave her all her money back. I told her to shut up. And I just gave her everything at that point. Instead of, I mean, if that's who we deal with, we pick our best two attorneys in the county, and then they fuck up and CC me on an email saying that they're going to take at least 70% of our wealth. Then I just said, fuck this, man.
Then my first attorney did a great job. My second attorney sucked. He went to work for DSS. And my third attorney, I just fired him and represented myself at that point. I was just like, done.
I hear 3 divorces. You're out.
No, I'm talking about 3 child custody hearing cases.
Oh.
1 divorce, 3 child custody cases.
I remember North Carolina.
Every 3 years you can revisit.
Well, keep doing your thing, girl. We love you.
All right, good night. Bye-bye.
God bless you. All right, guys. Lots of love for everybody. We will. There's an X400 flare. We will check real quick to make sure we're not missing anything terribly crazy. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Oh gosh, I need to take y'all out to the lot over here. There's this many electrical cars. They're all Elon's cars in the lot next to my home here. They're trying to move them in and sell them, and they're not going real well. Look, there's my former CI recruitment specialist. I believe it. Look, let's buy a house. And this is about what we should all be believing now. None of what they tell us. None of what they tell us. It's hard to believe anything anymore. Look at Ukraine. What a shithole. Ex-Soviet Union, Siberia, Latvia, ex-Soviet Union, Romania, ex-USSR, Hungary, ex-Soviet Union, Bulgaria, ex-Soviet Union, Moldova, not African, Russia, current Soviet Union, Belarus, current Soviet Union, Georgia, we stole that, ex-USSR, we took that in the Color Revolution, Estonia, same thing, Croatia, these are all, Poland even, I mean, is that Russian or not? You tell me. Everything you see in here is an ex-USSR communist state. Everything. And then you see Germany down here. Right? Germany. The real Nazis. And hey, y'all really don't believe that y'all beat them or anything, do y'all? Remember, Von Braun said that we never went to the moon. He said we never went to the moon. He said that it would, actually his exact words, it would take 3 rockets the size of the Empire State Building to get to the moon, and there would be no way. Von Braun's most grave marker refers to his favorite biblical passage, in the heavens. I love how they know. They know what I'm talking about, and they want to hide it from y'all. Declare the glory of God in the firmament, showeth his handiwork. Psalms 19:1. he could have had, he was a multi-millionaire, could have had some big thing, rocket done or something. He had a simple marble headstone so he knew it would last. And he had it carved with Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Just like Elon can't get out of the firmament, neither could Von Braun. And Von Braun, well, he had enough jet fuel to get out of the firmament. Yeah, he finally read his Bible and realized that he was wasting his time, right? Wasting his time. That's what there's his actual headstone right there. I've seen it a million times. Yeah, a good picture of it if I can. It's important so that you people realize, no one's 1277, Psalms 19:1. I know. I just took a I could have found a great photo, but I just wanted y'all to get the sense of it. He could have put anything he wanted here. He could have had a huge, with his millions of dollars. He ran NASA for 20, 30 years. All the Apollo missions went to and from the moon with never a heartache or a hair missing. He was trying to tell y'all so that y'all wouldn't get screwed up, right? Without, well, probably getting in too much trouble. Anyone that can't read that says Psalms 19:1, and maybe you can't hear, but in the long run, he was teaching y'all what he learned. It says all the glory to God. All the glory to God. So, with that said, lots of love out there. Wow, this is a huge story. I've never seen one put together like this, so we have to watch it. I thought he left the interview, but I didn't get to see him leave. Let's see if Trump just says, go F yourself. Let's see.
And now the Supreme Court has upheld an order that you must return him facilitate his return to the United States. What are you doing to comply?
Well, the lawyer that said it was a mistake was here a long time, was not appointed by us. Should not have said that. And just so you understand, the person that you're talking about, you're making this person sound, this is a MS-13 gang member, a tough cookie, been in lots of skirmishes, beat the hell out of his wife, and the wife was petrified to even talk about him, okay? This is not an innocent, wonderful gentleman from Maryland.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. It's about the rule of law. The order from the Supreme Court stands, sir.
Came into our country illegally.
We can't make another government decide what they're going to do with their citizen. He actually, gratefully, is not from Venezuela. He's from El Salvador. So we don't have the power. That's what Trump should be saying right now. To tell someone whose citizen is in prison for crimes he might have committed on their soil what to do with their citizen.
Get him back. There's a phone on this desk. You could pick it up and have all the power of the presidency. You could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has ordered you to facilitate that.
All right. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I'll work it out with myself. Lots of love.